Hey everybody, welcome back. As things start to normalize, the movie theaters are opening up again. So I know some of us watched Black Widow in theaters, right?
Yep.
Or did some watch at home?
Yeah, I watch home.
Well, it's good. We can see what it was like at the home theater experience and the actual theater experience and kind of relay what we felt about the movie. What did you guys think?
Yeah, so this is going to be a spoiler review. I think we're just going to get into spoilers right away.
For sure.
Go.
So, I told this to OC because I watched it with OC last night, and I said that I felt like the movie lacked a really good villain, and that's one of the primary reasons, because I thought it was only like okay to good. Mm-hmm. Generally, I'm positive about the movie because I liked the action and the humor, but it just felt like, I like the origin story as well, but it just felt like I could have had more, like a better satisfying ending for me.
I want to say a weak villain is like part of the Marvel formula.
That's what I said.
Unfortunately, I don't even remember the dude's name, and every time he spoke, I'm like, this dude's a cartoon, he's a caricature, like, I don't really care. What are his motivations?
Yeah, then,
he's just evil.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But then after they like gave us like Killmonger and Thanos, it's like you would hope that the standards are increasing. You know?
And it's like when you name a good villain, it's like it's only those two really though.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, coming soon. Hopefully, we're gonna like get a good Kang the Conqueror, right?
Yeah,
But
hopefully.
It
was. I'll agree because I didn't even make the connection, but Taskmaster from this movie is Taskmaster from the Spider-Man PS4 games. And it's like, they're so completely different characters that I didn't even realize that it was the same character. And he has more like development and personality in the PlayStation 4 game than in this like feature-length film.
Yeah.
And so they didn't even have Taskmaster speak in this movie, so.
a villain that doesn't speak, like that's so annoying, dude.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I felt was a really big weakness for the movie, was that they tried to make that arc emotional, right? With Black Widow apologizing and when I'm feeling bad for it. But I feel like they missed so hard. Like I didn't feel a thing from it, unfortunately.
I'll agree. And I don't want to like, I really loved the movie. I think I liked it more than most people. But I will agree, like that character, the arc that they did, I don't know. I wish that they went deeper into it if they were gonna have it be such a pivotal moment, because all we get is that she attempted to assassinate Dreykov's daughter. And I wish we got more of that than just like that 15-second clip of like her, like she was a different person at that time, her motivations, like she's a trained assassin, trained killer, and she's not necessarily the Avenger that we know. And so I wish that they spent more time kind of showing what she used to be like, so that we can now like juxtapose that to who she is now, and that would have made the whole apology stronger, I think.
That's true. They didn't really take us on a journey of redemption for me. But I think maybe the movie came out at the wrong time, because a lot of stuff in there, right? It seemed like this movie was in development for a long time, and I read somewhere that it was like when it was like getting written or when it was in development, the Me Too movement was going on, and Dreykov is supposed to kind of resemble like Harvey Weinstein, and I was like, dude, that was like a while ago, and maybe it would have hit harder back then, or maybe even if they like released it in order, it might have been better. It might have hit harder.
It definitely would have been better. I don't know why they prioritized other movies above this one, but they should have put this one.
It was good though. Those are my main criticisms, because honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. I went in with like not low expectations, but just no expectations, and I enjoyed the action. Like you said, it was pretty good. Good choreo.
Yeah, like Red Guardian.
David Harbour.
To be honest,
more
that's
David Harbour.
a criticism I had. If we're gonna go to criticisms, because I mean, I think since we're starting off with criticisms, we can start with criticisms, and then we can talk about how much there is some good stuff in the movie. Because there is, as far as Red Guardian goes, I felt like his character was underused, comparing to the fact that he's supposed to be this strong Captain America type of character. That to me was a little bit of a big, like, I mean, I love that he was funny, but it just came off, to me, it just came off just as a joke. And it was such a contrast to how he was in the beginning of the movie, because he was kind of like this serious, okay, we gotta go over here, we need to get to the plain character. And all of a sudden, him and his girls like making jokes, hey, I'm a little big down there, you know what I mean? And ha ha ha, you're fat. And it's like, what the heck? So that to me was a little bit of to me, it was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of disappointed they underused this character. But going to other criticisms,
that's what life does to you, man.
I know. But he would have. I feel like Prison would have made him better. But I feel like the biggest to me is like going back to not just the villain. I just feel like there was not much. This movie hit a lot of like hard themes. Like you have themes of like women being kidnapped and being forced to be turned into weapons. You have, the fact that Black Widow even said, they took away our organs so we can't even have babies type of thing. Like, that's a dark thing. That's very they kind of undertone it with humor.
Exactly.
And I didn't literally like that. And it's like...
It's weird.
Yeah.
They're just
that's what Marvel does.
I know Marvel does, but I felt like this movie, the way they started it off, they could have went more into that. And I was disappointed with that. And it just... To me, it just didn't feel like a lot of the emotional weight within the movie was there. Even with all the characters and how they're together, it just didn't feel it. And I think that was the biggest weakness of this film. It was just that nothing felt emotionally weighted here.
Yeah, now I'm cringing because it was like, haha, forced sterilization, haha.
Yeah. Yes,
I was
exactly.
like, oh no.
Exactly.
Really
like that's
hard.
a harsh, like when you're hearing that, that's like a harsh, like even me, I was like.
Like, I don't know if someone has a history of stuff like that, I feel like they would get triggered.
I know.
To be honest, and I'm not one to like say that or use that term lightly, but I feel like that's a triggering subject.
I've talked about this before, and like this is part of the reason why for me personally I don't like Thor Ragnarok that much. Is like
I love Thor Ragnarok.
at the moment where like an entire civilization is destroyed, it's all undercut with a joke. Yeah, it's like you're laughing at this moment where you should be somber and you should be like thoughtful, but Marvel doesn't want to get too deep. It's like it's a consistent thing, and most of the time, except for like the Infinity War and Endgame movies, they don't want to get too depressing or too deep or too sad. But that's it. Kind of, I feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot by continually doing that. And we see that with this movie, so
Classic Marvel formula.
Classic Marvel.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it has its ups and downs, but I treat Ragnarok as like a comedy movie. That's how I treat it.
Yeah, but you can they say the divine comedy, like there's a fine line between comedy and tragedy.
Yeah.
They could have. I think Taika Waititi had it in him to like make a more emotional scene.
If you've seen Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
And that movie is so funny, but there's also like such profound like sadness in that movie
and
as
even
well.
Hunt for the Wilder People, also by Taika Waititi. He
and
really
so
balances.
He has that capability. I think it's just Marvel. I think that they don't want to bring in that other part.
Onto them.
Yeah. I think it's just Marvel.
Do they think that the characters may not have strength or the actors may not have strength to do more dramatic movie? Because I do feel like Black Widow is a good actor enough to pull off a more serious tone of a movie.
She definitely. She was in
Jojo Rabbit.
In Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So and she's a fantastic actress.
Yeah.
Florence Pugh, who played Yelena, was great. I liked her character a lot.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the strengths now, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm in love with Florence Pugh. I think she's like a legitimate scene stealer. Like I couldn't take my eyes off her. Her physicality was great, her humor, her timing. I'm so excited for her to just kind of like take the mantle of, what is she, like White Widow or something?
Yeah, I guess. Spoilers, but I guess we have mentioned that.
I've been a fan since Midsommar, and I don't know, she just totally lived up to my expectations. Because like I said, I didn't have expectations for anyone else, but I was excited to see her, and she killed it. So were like the other supporting characters. I liked David Harbour a lot. I liked the mom, Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
She's great. I always love her. They all had a personality. Like Rachel Weisz was kind of, she took things very literal, and she was very like nonchalant, and David Harbour was just like crazy, while Yelena was like a cute little sister, and it just, everyone had their own personalities.
I don't know if I buy Rachel Weisz's transformation as rapidly as it happened. Because I remember thinking in the theater, like, oh, so she's like really bad. I hope that they don't like switch it so that she like has a sudden change of heart at the very end. But then, you know, the movie tricked me because she already had a change of heart before I realized that was that wasn't her anymore.
Yeah, it was some real Ocean 11 vibes because they were like, flashback, this happened.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't necessarily feel like it cheapened the experience, but I do think it was a bit like, it's kind of a fast change because you've been doing this for over your entire life, and then all of a sudden, you know, these people from 20 years ago that you knew for 3 years are like back in your life.
Maybe it's because Rachel Weisz, as like the mom, she was a little more connected to the girls. Like even when she was shot, she was like, "Oh, keep your heart." Yeah. More so than David Harbour's Red Guardian, who was like, "Okay, I'm done with this mission."
I'd imagine she doesn't like the guy she's working for, you know. Yeah. So it's only based off of all the psychological torture that she's doing what she's doing, and then having some connection could help free that, you know.
Yeah.
I'll agree. I mean, it's not too big of an issue, but I think it was a little like, it gave me pause in the movie.
Yeah. I want to call out, I thought the whole opening sequence was brilliant. I really liked it. I don't know about you guys, but it was almost like a different movie to me. The tone was crazy. I was like, dude, what's going on? I was like getting really hyped.
They de-aged Rachel Weisz, and I was like, it was weird in the movie. I was like, whoa.
I don't know, I was like getting like mummy vibes from her.
Yeah, I was like, am I watching the movie?
I was like, okay, young Rachel Weisz.
Yeah. But as far as other great stuff, I really liked the action.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The action choreography in the movie was very good. Reminiscent of like Winter Soldier for me.
Definitely.
It was very much reminiscent of Winter Soldier,
definitely.
But like with women, which is great.
Near the end though, it was getting like Fast and Furious levels ridiculous.
Yes. They're like flying through the air.
This is like going back to a little bit of negative, but like some of the CGI, like we mentioned yesterday.
Yeah.
Totally noticeable.
It was bad. It was bad. It was like
it was literally one time I was watching it looked like not Wonder Woman. Black Widow was going PS4. Well, I guess Wonder Woman because of CGI, but Black Widow's doing it looked like Black Widow was like a PS4 car route floating down, and then she does like some weird flip, and I was like, okay, we can tell it's a stunt though. That's everything.
And there was a moment where like the motorcycle goes up on a car, but it like stays flat, even though the car is like not like flat. And I was like, what is going on here? There was some bad noticeable, and they used CGI when they didn't have to, was another thing. Because even like when they're being thrown into like doorways and stuff like that, there were moments where they used CGI. But I'm like, you could have used a stunt double and some practical effects for that. That didn't necessarily need to be so obvious, but you know. Yeah. Other than that, great choreography, great action. Yeah. Some of the set pieces were cool. I was having fun.
I think what definitely was a good strength for this movie is considering, although I wish they went into those heavy themes, was that this movie never felt slow. Like it always felt like it was moving. You never felt like it was moving.
I often find myself in a lot of Marvel movies when I'm watching them in theaters. Sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, like if I was one person to like use the restroom during a movie, like this is when I'd go. I don't like missing things, but like, you know, there are times where I'm like, I can pay a little less attention. But this movie was like, okay, like hit after hit, there's like good scenes, good stuff happening.
Yeah. I think also, this was played for comedy again, but the whole plane falling in the middle of the sky because they're like, we don't need gas. I was like, why did that happen? I don't understand.
I mean, it seemed like some family, because you know, like if you're with your family, your dad's like, we'll make it. It seemed like some very family road trip type stuff to me.
It just felt weird.
They landed at a spot where they could walk to wherever they needed to go, so it worked out.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, I was in the middle. I was like, did that just happen?
That's fair. I was like, wow, this is kind of strange because it doesn't feel like something that would actually happen in real life.
Yeah, like his daughters, I don't even think that they would like listen that much to where, you know, they're like, he says we don't need gas, and like, obviously we need gas.
Yeah, we need the gas.
But yeah, there were some comedic moments. There were a lot of comedic moments that hit. Like Yelena making fun of
her landing,
her superhero landing. That was great.
I think, every David Harbour scene, I really loved him.
Yeah.
Like when he was like, I think it was his little story about his dad when he was like, "Can I get hypothermia in his hands?" He's like, he went to bathroom on my hands.
He was so good, and he was so like great as far as like his character, his acting is great, because we know him from Stranger Things,
yeah.
And then I didn't know how I would feel with him like doing this Russian accent the whole time, but he did great.
Okay,
they were all fine.
The accents sometimes they be going in and out with it. Like there'd be moments where they're all like completely normal American, and then next minute they're all like, I noticed some things like that. Not that it was too bad, because most of the time it was generally good. But sometimes I'd be like, okay, why are they switching?
Yeah,
or
it's
even
hard though, like to act and also have an accent that's accurate.
Yeah.
Especially like Russian, which is kind of, there's some nuances with the V's and the W's and all that. And I think Florence's was like probably the best for me. And everyone else was like just okay. And I didn't have a problem with David Harbour's character kind of being more of a caricature, because I don't know much about Red Guardian, but he's just like supposed to juxtapose, right, Captain America. So I don't think he's like a super fleshed out person in the comics. I could be wrong, but it's like I don't think they needed to like go into him and make him like a super like OP character. I think he was cool as he was, as they presented him in the film.
I'm curious.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that. I guess my thing was I just didn't feel like he was much useful. That's just where the criticism comes in. It's like, you have this kid, like literally they're like, let's go him to find the advice. Well, actually, I don't know, but I know someone else who knows.
He's just like a himbo like super soldier, which is
that
fine
was
to me.
where it was like,
I'm curious if they're going to, because they made some mentions of him and Captain America actually knowing each other, which we know doesn't make sense because of the timeline doesn't match up. But I'm curious if that's like an Easter egg for something else that they might be like alluding to. Like maybe there was another secret Captain America.
Well, it's Marvel. There has to be tons of Easter eggs in there.
Maybe.
There was even in the after credit, they were building up some intense stuff. So.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, that after credits scene with I always forget her name. I just remembered that
Valentina?
she was. Yeah, I just remember she's from Seinfeld. But the point is, yeah.
And also, that's a direct tie-in to Falcon Winter Soldier and also the new Hawkeye series. So I think Kate Bishop, confirmed, and Vera Farmiga. So that should be a good series, I think.
Oh wait, so there's gonna be a Hawkeye TV show?
Yeah. It's gonna focus on his daughter.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was gonna be his daughter.
Okay.
Is it Kate Bishop? Is that his daughter?
Kate Bishop, yeah.
That's his daughter?
I think so. Maybe I might look into it.
Is his last name Bishop?
I know it's supposed to focus on female Hawkeye.
No, she's a fan favorite, so that should be cool.
I mean, to talk about the end credit scene just a little bit, I feel like they mainly did it for like, okay, let's elicit emotion in the audience versus like, is she actually gonna try to kill Clint? I feel like
she was confirmed to be in the show.
Sure, but is she actually gonna try to kill him?
That's the thing.
That's like some weird ass logic to me.
Yeah, I think I agree. That was the thing. When I saw that, I was kind of like, I don't know about this end credit scene, because is it gonna be another like, oh, the two good guys are like pitted against each other because they're both being manipulated, and then they're gonna find out that they were being manipulated and that they're both really good guys, and we're just gonna, because we've done that so many times in Marvel. It's like, come on, why do we have to keep doing this?
I mean, all Hawkeye has to say is like, I mean, she should know who Hawkeye was to Black Widow, right?
I mean, she even said
she doesn't, because in that room in Budapest, she's like, "What are those holes?" And Natasha had to tell they're arrows because she didn't know about.
Yeah, but didn't they say she was like holed up in that little train station, little like cubby hole with like they had like the. Tic-tac-toe, and she said it was Barton, didn't she?
Yeah, she said
Clint Barton.
You're right. I think maybe she just doesn't know about him that much. Maybe she just knows the name. I don't know. But we'll see.
I mean,
Okay, maybe not the best after credit then.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
Yeah. So I guess as like a standalone sort of origin story, what do you guys feel about this movie comparing to like the other standalone origin stories?
I think smack dab in the middle. I think it's like a good, just skewing towards the median Marvel movie. I liked it better than a lot of Marvel movies, but I know it's definitely not as stronger as like the fan favorites, you know.
I said like after watching it that I'd put it in my top half of Marvel movies.
Yeah. Fair.
But I don't. Yeah, I think it's definitely better than like at least half of the Marvel movies right now.
Again, I'm trying to compare it to like how like
the
there's the origin stories like Iron Man and all that. So I'm comparing it to there, not
Should we
like
compare it to Captain Marvel?
Oh, of course.
That might be a different video.
I mean, for now, that's our general review, general spoiler review of Black Widow. We're gonna do some specific discussions, so if you want to check those out, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys there.
Peace.